It is 6:49 in our Smart Start for Monday this morning. Monroe County deputies need your help to find a missing woman from Chili, and we have her photo. 43-year-old Sarah Torsia, seen there, has not been heard from in nearly 2 weeks. Last seen back on April 2nd around 11 that morning in Rochester on Fillmore Street. If you happen to know anything about her current whereabouts, what happened to her, please call 911. We're working to learn more after police responded to 2 separate deadly crashes Sunday here in Rochester. The first scene, a woman was killed after running a red light and crashing into the back of a parked fire truck. That was at the intersection of Hudson Avenue and Avenue D around 8:30 a.m. Police found the woman and a passenger hurt. They say RFD had gone out to a different call when the 35-year-old driver in a Volvo ran a red light and hit that fire truck parked on Hudson Avenue. The engine did have its emergency lights on. No first responders inside. The driver died at the hospital. Her passenger is being treated for injuries described as minor. One man remains in the hospital in critical condition after another was found dead at the scene of this crash on Lake Avenue. Officers say 2 motorcycles were riding north and crashed into a Toyota going south trying to make a turn. 2 men inside the car were also taken to the hospital. They're expected to make a recovery. The cause of that crash is still under investigation. 6 people are dead after a plane crash in upstate New York over the weekend, and among the victims, a Rochester Regional Health neurosurgeon, Dr. Michael Groff, the executive medical director of neuroscience, along with his family and 3 others, were all killed after a private plane they were in crashed while going to the Catskills for a birthday celebration and the Passover holiday. The twin-engine aircraft suddenly went down shortly after noon Saturday in a muddy field in Copake near the border with Massachusetts. Investigators say the pilot reported a missed approach to the airport in Columbia County, and the control tower got an alert for low altitude as the pilot was waiting for details on a new approach.
The ATC controller attempted to relay this low altitude alert to the pilot and also tried to contact him 3 additional times. Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful. There was no response from the pilot, and there was no distress call.
The federal investigation will take some time, expected to be final in 1 to 2 years. The head of Rochester Regional Health, the CEO, Dr. Richard Davis, tells News 8 Dr. Groff was a highly respected neurosurgeon and physician leader, known for clinical excellence and compassionate care. Funeral arrangements for all are now underway. To an outpouring of support as the Rochester community gathered to honor the life of the 15-year-old student from the School of the Arts who died last month. A large turnout for Sunday's candlelight vigil in memory of Caitlin Benoit, a trans teen who tragically died after falling from the roof of the campus building last month. That event held at First Unitarian Church of Rochester, drawing in family, friends, and supporters of all background. Saturday, Rochester leaders and their students had a mental health forum talking about ongoing struggles and challenges for young people and to spread awareness of the wealth of support available to those in need. Organizers of the Vigil for Caitlin spoke with News 8 about the goal of also trying to uplift the narrative of what it means to be proudly trans.
I think that when we have moments like this, it really shows the strength of our community, because most times when folks are talking about transgender people, you're talking about what is going on in the political climate, you're talking about the loss of our lives, the devastation. So even in this, being with community, we have to find joy and continue to build on resilience, but also demand change.
Rochester is something different when it comes to its community and how we come together to honor and protect each other, and it mesmerizes me every time.
Wave Women Incorporated, Next Gen Men of Transition, and Rochester LGBTQ+ Together, just some of the groups that hosted last night's vigil. We do want to remind our viewers, people you know at home, those facing an immediate mental health crisis, you can call or text 988 anytime, 24/7, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That will also get you in contact with basic info and supporters for how to best navigate helping others. And later this summer, the city will host 2 more separate mental health service events at our centers, and counselors are available for walk-in sessions. President Trump today is going to meet with the president of El Salvador amid this ongoing battle in federal court over a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported. That meeting comes after the release of President Trump's recent physical results over the weekend. In a report Sunday from the White House, doctors say the president is, quote, in excellent health and passed his cognitive assessment of a perfect score, 30 out of 30. The president also reacted to Russia's attack on the Ukrainian city of Sumy, calling the strikes that killed dozens a mistake.
They made a mistake. thing. Look, you're going to ask them. This is Biden's war.
Hospitals, churches, children destroyed.
When the two ballistic missiles hit the city center, many people were outside their homes at the time celebrating Palm Sunday. For the start of Holy Week, Pope Francis marked that occasion by briefly greeting crowds in a surprise visit as they gathered in St. Peter's Square. The 88-year-old pontiff is still recovering from his hospitalization, a case of double pneumonia he's been battling since early this year. Sunrise traffic updates here. Just about 5 minutes to go until 7. Main expressways, everything's moving along. A quiet look there from our Greater Rock Sky Eye. One issue still hasn't cleared in Henrietta, West Henrietta Road and Calkins Road, at least still showing up on our map. But east side 590 north and southbound looking good. 490 through Victor also good as well, except for that project. Keep in mind, fixing bridges in Barrington. Speaking of, there's another one getting started today. It's $3 million of work with state DOT to replace a bridge in Fairport on 250. Crews are going to be working on the structure that takes traffic on North Main Street over Thomas Creek. Drivers will have detours for the next 4 months. Whitney, Turk Hill, and Aralt roads used as detours to get around that work, taking us to early summer. Well, after 11 long years, Rory McIlroy's chase to win both another major and the Masters is finally done. In typical Rory fashion, it was a roller coaster, was not easy at all. Going into Sunday, he had a 2-shot lead over the rest of the field, and we picked this up on 13. Rory 3 shots ahead, and he goes fishing there in the creek. He get a double bogey on the hole, and as he was falling apart 2 groups ahead, Justin Rose was flying up the leaderboard on 18. He got a birdie and forced McIlroy to make his par to avoid a playoff. He missed, and here we go to sudden death. Rory knocks that one in closer than Rose. Rose missed his birdie. Rory makes his, and there it is. He gets his green jacket, completes the career Grand Slam, the 6th golfer to accomplish that feat, and you see all the emotion there. Incredible to see. Drama on Sunday in Georgia. Final weather, real quick.
We got nice warm temperatures today, and then we have a little bit of winter, and then we are back to the warm temperatures and maybe even a little bit less of the wet weather.
Back and forth over that spring break before Easter. That does it for us. CBS Mornings on the way.